Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you happen to be a new viewer here or just a regular viewer who hasn't subscribed yet, please consider doing so to stay up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. So today I'm talking to you about episode 8 of season 2, Star Trek Lower Decks, entitled I Excretus. This was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of homages back to classic Star Trek moments with the crew undergoing an evaluation where we got to see all manner of different classic Star Trek, moments regenerated for the purposes of this training and evaluation exercise. So let's take a look through the episode, break it down, and see what it had to offer. Well, it was definitely an interesting flip of dynamics in this episode where we got to essentially trade places. The lower deckers swapped places with the main bridge crew. We got the main bridge crew doing lower decks duties, and we got the lower deckers doing higher duties on the bridge. We also got a look at a Pandronian, which is the first time we've seen this race in Star Trek since the animated series from the episode BEM. This is sort of a strange race that can detach various different parts of its body and can, have a floating head or a floating torso or whatever. It was kind of a weird race, this one. Lower Decks has always been quite regular in its harkbacks to the animated series, and the Pandronian Starfleet Evaluator, Sara was no different. We had obviously the number of different holographic simulators set up in what looked like the cargo bay, where they had the leaderboards going on, and we had a whole string of different scenarios where the crew could undertake different training exercises. So that was really fun to see the list of all the different moments, and some of them were just named directly from past Star Trek episodes. When we saw the list of all the different scenarios and all the different crew members undertaking the training exercise, we saw Time Trap and Trouble with Tribbles, Q, Borg events. We've got Cause and Effect, Evolution, Chain of Command, Hero Worship. These are all titles of old Next Generation episodes. The Naked Time, which was an old original series episode. The Kobayashi Maru Test. So many different episode themes that they explored in this episode. I think this episode was kind of doing what Lower Decks does best, which is take those moments from Next Generation or original series or whatever, and they give us a well played out homage to those episodes. So we started to see all these different scenarios being played out, starting with the Terran Empire or the Mirror Universe, with Mariner trying to escape from the Mirror Universe by convincing everybody on board that she was evil and so forth, which was kind of fun. I did like the moment at the end of this little scenario that Mariner was partaking in that wasn't necessarily a Star Trek reference, but the bit where she's finally uncovered by the Terran Empire operatives as a Prime Universe person, was a direct homage to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where we saw Boimler do the whole kind of point and the whole point and scream thing straight out of that series of films. That was a fun little homage to a science fiction classic. We got to see the Old West recreation, which was a direct reference to A Fistful of Datas, the holographic program where Data goes crazy, tries to kill Worf and Troy and so forth. Now, in Tendy's simulation, the ethics one, which is taken directly from a Season 5 Next Generation episode in its title, was the one where Worf had his back broken by something fell on him in the cargo bay, and he ended up with a broken back, and Dr. Crusher had to rebuild his spine, and he wanted to die, all that sort of thing. So Tendy's going through exactly the same scenario with her Klingon in this scenario that Worf went through in that Next Generation episode. So it's a good hark back to that. The classic Trek, Star Trek II Wrath of Khan scenario where Rutherford had to do the whole the good of the many outweigh the good of the one routine, where he had to try to sacrifice himself to prevent a warp core breach, which didn't kind of go to plan. But that was fun seeing the characters in the old Star Trek II engineering type arrangement and so forth. And Boimler getting very obsessed with the whole Borg simulation, where he just wanted to get that perfect score. He just kept going back and playing the level over and over again and trying to improve his score from the last time, even though he was ranked really highly in the 90s. He just wanted to get that 100%. And best of all, in this episode, we actually had Alice Krige reprise her role as the Borg Queen. So that was great to hear Alice Krige having come in to voice the role that she made famous in Star Trek First Contact. We've had a few different actresses play the Borg Queen recently. Obviously, Susanna Thompson played the Borg Queen in Voyager, and we have Annie Wershing playing the Borg Queen very soon in the new season of Star Trek Picard. But let's face it, Alice Krige is the classic Borg Queen. She was the first one, and it was great to see her reprise that role. We also got a homage to the Naked Time, or the Naked Now. There were two episodes in Star Trek. There was the Naked Time, which was in original series in season 1, and there was the Naked Now in season 1 of Next Generation. And both involved the crew being intoxicated by this virus, and they're doing crazy things, and they're all kind of being a little bit promiscuous and free with their emotions, as we remember from the Data and Tasha Yar scene back from Next Generation's episode. But let's face it, Lower Decks did push the boundaries significantly further in this little homage to the Naked Time and the Naked Now, where literally all the crew were getting naked and getting busy in the mess hall. Not the mess hall, what do you call it? The bar, the little bar on board. That was definitely a fun homage to those episodes, and that just took that whole premise of those episodes and kind of just went at it to the nth degree, to the fact where Mariner is so disturbed by what she's seeing, she's intentionally trying to kill herself in the simulation just to stop it, and then she keeps having PTSD, flashes further down the episode with Shax on the bridge and everything that she kind of just can't get out of her head. So that was, that was an interesting spin on those episodes. And in order to get the Starfleet evaluator to give them a favourable score, because she's not really that happy with the state of the crew and how they're performing in these tests, Freeman decides to take her on a bit of a round trip of all the different dangerous anomalies in the sector that they happen to be flying through, and they bump into a crystalline entity and a wormhole and a black hole, and it was good to see the crystalline entity again, because that was always we had a couple of episodes in Next Generation which involved the crystalline entity, so it was cool to see that again. This episode had heaps of little references and in-jokes to all these different moments throughout original series, animated series, Next Generation. And let's face it, that's kind of what Lower Decks does best. I know there's a few people probably who are a bit distracted by the constant homages, but I think this as an animated series, the whole premise of the show is as a homage and a love letter to past Star Trek. So I say bring it on. Look, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was great seeing all the different simulations. It was good to see how our crew responded to them. It was good to see the bridge crew doing some dirty Lower Decks duties and having a bit more of an appreciation for the lower ranked officers on board the ship. I thought that was a nice touch, where we had that sort of flip of command structure, and also fun to see a Pandronian again in Star Trek, and not to mention Alice Krige reprising her role as the Borg Queen. Did you guys enjoy this episode? I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Leave a thought in the comment section. And also leave a super thanks if you're able to. It helps the channel out, keeps the videos churning out every week as I do. Much appreciated if you're able to. And if not, just, leave a comment and share this video with your friends, as well as checking out the merch store. And I think there's a sale on at the merch store at the moment, so be sure to. I think there's another day or maybe 2 days. There's a big sale in the merch store at the moment where you can get 20% off all my various Star Trek themed merchandise. So be sure to check that out and pick yourself up a bargain. 20% is a sizable discount, so take advantage of it. Thanks for all your viewership, guys, and I'll see you very soon for my next review. Catch you soon.